Internal Department File, Confessional Transcript, 37A. Clergy Consultant, redacted. Subject, Type 7, The Wailing Heart. Status, contained. Level 3 Psychological Observation Date, redacted. I know how this sounds. You're already picturing a padded cell with someone whispering to themselves in the corner. That's fair. I would too. If I hadn't been in the room when the skinwalker asked for forgiveness. Not metaphorically, not as some vague superstition. It spoke to me. With a mouth that wasn't designed for language. I'm not a priest, not officially. I used to be. Catholic seminary dropout, class of 2008. But faith never really left me. It just got rerouted. After I left, I started working as a crisis counselor. One thing led to another. Eventually, someone from the federal side knocked on my door. Said they were assembling a discrete unit for psychological containment and needed someone trained in theology and trauma. The job offer was vague. The pay was not. I signed the NDA and never looked back. My official title is Clergy Consultant for Type 7 Interactions. Internally, they just call us Sin Eaters. I work underground, a black site known only to the highest rungs of the department. Picture a concrete hive, windowless, buried under God knows where. My room has 2 chairs, a crucifix bolted to the wall, required, and a red line painted across the floor between me and whoever, or whatever, I'm talking to. They bring them in one at a time, shackled, sedated, sometimes bound in chains that rattle like old bones. Most don't speak. Some scream. A few cry. And on rare occasions, one will ask to confess. They never lie. Last Tuesday, they wheeled in a subject I hadn't seen before. Type humanoid cervid hybrid. Alias, the Wailing Heart. Origin, Appalachian Exclusion Zone. Containment breach history, redacted. Speech capacity, limited, mimicry possible. It stood 8 feet tall, thin, malnourished almost, but the skin was taut like leather over muscle. Antlers twisted out from its skull like black branches burned in a fire. And its eyes, there were too many. Not just 2, but several, blinking out of sync across its face. It had no mouth. Not at first. Then it grew one. And it whispered, "Forgive me, Father, for I have seen what comes after the end." I was trained for this. I've listened to abominations wail about the sins of forgotten civilizations. I've been told of feast rituals, dark places under rivers, even ancient names whispered by the wind. I can handle all that. But something about this one. The lights dimmed when it spoke. The wall began to sweat. My skin crawled with a sensation like static and fingers beneath it. I did not mean to listen, it rasped. But I did. It spoke from the blind side of heaven, and now I cannot forget. Its voice shifted, deepened, became many voices at once, all saying the same thing. They are coming back to take their silence. I don't know what that means, but I haven't slept since. I asked who they were. Its head jerked violently, like something yanked it from behind. Then it whispered, "The ones who walked the garden before man. You buried them in story, you chained them in myth. But prayers rot, and blood sings louder." The heart didn't blink, any of its eyes. They all locked on me, even the one just beneath its jawline, even the one that wept a dark, tar-like fluid from the side of its skull. It leaned forward, the red line between us practically pulsing on the floor. For a second, I thought it would cross it. That thing wanted me to hear this too closely, but it didn't move further. Just opened that stitched-together mouth and spoke again. "The end isn't fire or flood. Not this time. The end is remembering." I asked it what it meant. I kept my voice calm, steady, my notes from training running through my head like a litany. Establish dominance through stillness. Keep it talking. Focus on the logic of the confession, not the content. But there was no logic to this. "There is a song written in the meat of all things," it said. "You sang it once, before language, before names, and then you forgot." Its fingers, too long, too many joints, flexed like claws against the cuffs binding it to the chair. It didn't struggle. It didn't need to. "I heard the song," it hissed. "I heard it beneath the roots, where the first clay bled. It was never meant for ears. I bled from mine for days. I still do, inside." I noticed then the faint trail of black along the sides of its neck. Like dried blood. Cracked. Layered. "There is something under your faith, Father," it said in a softer, almost childlike voice. "And it remembers you." The lights went out, just for a second, long enough for me to hear it move. Only it hadn't. When the emergency fluorescence kicked on, the thing was still there, staring, smiling. Its mouth hadn't stopped moving. I checked the tape later. It only spoke 39 words aloud, but the tape caught hundreds. Hundreds of whispers layered underneath its voice. Words in languages I've never heard and don't want to understand. Even the audio engineer flagged the frequencies as non-human cognitive patterns. I haven't been right ever since. That night, I dreamed in static. I stood in a desert made of salt and bone with something vast watching me from behind the stars. I couldn't move. I couldn't even scream. My body was stuck in a cruciform pose, arms splayed outward, held by invisible force. The heart stood at the edge of the desert, far away, still speaking. The sky rippled open, and a black limb reached down, not from space, from behind it. Like it peeled reality away and slid through. When I woke up, I had nosebleeds for 3 days straight. 3 nights ago, I saw one of the other subjects watching me through the observation glass. It shouldn't have been aware. It's a type 3, no higher cognition, but it pressed its face against the reinforced window and whispered something with no mouth. I don't know how I heard it. I've been hearing a lot of things lately. I don't sleep anymore. Not fully. Not without the dream returning. The salt desert, the limb, the wailing heart's voice whispering from 1,000 throats. And I'm starting to see shapes in mirrors that aren't mine. There's something else. I didn't want to admit it, but I think I'm starting to understand the language on the tape. Just little pieces. Sounds that shouldn't make sense suddenly do. I wrote one of the words down last night in my sleep. I found the paper this morning beside my bed, written in charcoal from a fire I don't remember lighting. The word means unmaking. I haven't reported it yet. I've started lying during my wellness checks. The psych evaluators are trained to spot instability, but I know the system. I used to be part of it. I smile. I breathe evenly. I answer the questions like I'm still in control. But I've stopped letting them monitor my sleep patterns. I disconnected the biometric feed last week and blamed a static surge. If they knew I was dreaming in tongues, understanding them, I'd be sent to the deep levels. I've seen what happens down there. That's where they keep the breathers. The ones who no longer speak in human thought. The ones that don't need confession, only containment. A part of me wants to go back. I want to ask it what else it saw, what else it heard, what else is coming. I don't know if it's curiosity or something worse growing inside me. Either way, I'll write again, if it lets me. If any of you are reading this and want updates, I guess just let me know. I'm not even sure if I should be talking about this anymore. I know they'll come for me if I write more. But silence feels worse. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. A quick shout out to my patrons, Old Penguin, Rinku Star, Melissa Perez, Icy Narrates, Seven Cities Journalist, Cupcake Hips, Eric Cifuentes, Alonso, Austin My Love, Ellie Hutmeyer, Jesse Hartley, Lawrence Wallen, Mr. Sankofa, and William Hartley. I always try to link a different charity in the description, so go ahead and check that out. I'm also going to start having more things on my Patreon soon, so keep your eyes peeled. And as always, I'd love to know how I can be praying for you, so go ahead and drop a comment and let me know how I can do that. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next video.